Hello, I'm Steph from IDRIVEACLASSIC. Now usually you would see me sitting in the driving seat of something probably from the 60s or 70s, as is my preference, but today instead we've mixed it up a bit and I'm shooting from my own home with my original 1970s sofa. Now I wanted to do things slightly differently today because lots of you always ask me how your own car's getting on. In particular, the Marina gets asked about all the time, and I thought today's video we do something slightly different, which might include, oh my goodness, an appearance from the editing assistant Tulip, who's wearing this because she was a naughty girl, weren't you, and you decided to crawl under some cupboards and hurt your back. Kittens, eh? Anyway, I love that cat. Coming back to the point of this video, it's all about cars, not cats. Now, as you may know, my fleet is pretty sizable. And in fact, when I was adding it up earlier, I thought, oh goodness, I'm getting to that point where it tips over into going from someone who's a classic car enthusiast into being a crazy car lady, and I think it might have already tipped into that point. Anyway, let's talk about the cars. So first of all, we've got the convertible. Now I don't know if you saw my reel that I did the other day, you know, those little short videos, but I was talking about how we've now done over 1,000 miles in the car, which is pretty good going considering that, did you know, on average, the average classic car owner does less than 1,000 miles a year, according to some survey somewhere. I mean, I don't know who they asked because me and all my friends do loads more than that every year. And you pay through the nose the insurance for it, but who cares, because I'd rather be driving something that I love. Anyway, over 1,000 miles, what has happened? Well, first of all, the gearbox has started making an ungodly noise. It's kind of like this. Now I tried filming it 2 or 3 times, but it was really difficult because you're out and about in the car and you've got the engine noise, and it's one of those strange noises that I think you can only hear when you're inside the vehicle. It was really difficult to try and film because I wanted to get the opinion of my friends on what we all thought it was as well, and I just could not get the note. And I just thought, wow, this is even more annoying than the noise. So I took it into work and Paul and Callum had a look on the ramp and they came back and said, you need a new gearbox. I'm like, wow, that is exactly what I wanted to hear in week 2 of ownership. Thank you so much. However, it has largely been problem free. So there's a bit of oil loss from the sump. So this weekend is the Morris Minor Owners Club National Rally, and I will be going and I will be looking for a sump. But if not, I'll just rag the one off the garage, the one off the spare engine in the garage, and just put that into good use. But so far, classic car ownership with the Morris Minor convertible has been an absolute barrel of laughs. We've had quite good weather, been taking it out. I've managed to avoid sunburn so far, which I am quite surprised at actually. We've also got Nancy. Now, one of the really weird questions that kind of shocked me was loads of people said to me, are you going to get rid of Nancy now that you've got the convertible? Let me tell you now, I will be dying with the keys for that car in my hand. I love Nancy so much. In fact, it must be coming up to, or it's just past 13 years I've had that car. And it's been the best 13 years because I love that car so much. I will never get rid of it. Everything else around me could go. My clothes, my house, every possession I own. The last thing that would go, well, actually it would be the cat, but before the cat, in terms of monetary possessions, it would be that car, because that car is everything to me. I've had the best moments in my life in it and I've had the worst moments in my life in it, and it will never leave me, and it is so, touch wood, so reliable. And after that new engine got put in last year, it has performed like an absolute treat, and I've put quite a few miles on it since. I mean, this year alone, I pulled it back out of hibernation in April, and I've done 3,000 to 4,000 miles so far, which I'm pretty pleased with. Now, what else have we got on the fleet? Oh my goodness, the Proton. Now look, I'm at a weird place with the Proton because I am back in that zone again where I'm just driving cars from the 60s again all the time, because during the summer months I don't tend to really use the Proton that much. And I've got myself into that headspace again where I'm like, do I actually need something modern? Why have I got this? And it's had a really weird running issue, which I cannot get to the bottom of. So I'm actually going to be being really grown up again, and I'm going to send it off to APS Autos in Lincoln, which was who worked on it last year when it had a problem. And I think I'm going to set myself a mental threshold that if it's going to cost me more than £400, I think I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to be really careful who I sell it to, because I'm not going to sell it to anybody that I think will scrap it. I'm going to sell it to somebody who will then take it on and do something else with it, because I think it's really important to think about who you sell your classics to, especially when they're low value, because people sometimes buy them for the wrong reasons, and I wouldn't want that car going to the wrong person. But it did do something really cool the other day. It was in, and I can't show you any footage, annoyingly, it was filmed for a true crime episode, and the true crime episode was about what can I get away with saying? There was a crime in the early 2000s that involved a Proton Saga, and that's what it was filmed for, which is kind of cool, really. The crime itself was actually pretty horrendous, and I looked it up and thought, I really hope they don't show my number plates, because I do not want to be implicated with that crime whatsoever. So I don't know when that's going to be back on the road, really. Probably in the next couple of months. There's also a little bit of rot creeping in a couple of places. It looks very superficial for now. So if the car costs me less than £400 to fix, I'm going to get that rot done as well, because I always say to people, and I always say to customers at work, jump on things when they're small, and they're going to cost you so much less than if you leave it for a year, 2 years. So it's just those couple of areas I need to sort out. So I'm going to sort that out. And then we've got the 3 cars that are probably my biggest concern at the moment, which is number 1, the Austin. So we've got the Austin A35, and we've actually been doing little bits and pieces with that in the background. Tulip likes to be involved in absolutely everything, and she comes to work every day, and so she's very involved in the world of classic cars, so I'll let her be in this video a little bit, why not? Anyway, coming back to the Austin A35, let's talk about that. We did get it running, because that's where we left it last time. We got the engine going, sounded really good actually, and we filmed this video and we watched it back and we didn't like it. And so I said, right, okay, don't worry about it. We'll put it on the cutting room floor and we'll film it again next week. Except guess what? Next week hasn't happened. So we have been doing bits on that in the background. So what I'm going to do is make sure within the next month that you get some sort of update on that. But remember, our working lives have to take priority. Cars that we own come secondary. So unfortunately, it's just been a little bit quiet. Now, I had plans to also be doing some bits on the standard 10, and I got it out the other day and then realised that it had the most ungodly oil leak that had impacted the clutch, and the car is not drivable. And I thought, wow, this is definitely not what I thought it was in terms of problems that I needed to fix. So that's something that needs to be fixed. But again, probably thinking August, September time for that now, because that's a really good little winter car and I really enjoyed driving it last winter, so I think I'm probably going to have it back out again as a winter hack. So I think it'd probably be ragged back round for that, and it means that my pristine classics, things like the convertible, Nancy, the Morris Minor, they aren't getting that bad weather degradation. The standard already, as we know, is pretty rapey, so I think, well, just enjoy it whilst it's there. It's a car that can be used and enjoyed. That was the whole purpose of putting it back on the road, was that I get worried about using the decent stuff in the bad weather, and it means that I get to drive a proper classic all throughout the year. So that's going to be coming back on the road before autumn. These are the things that I tell myself, will it happen? I hope to goodness it does. And then there's the biggest fly in my ointment, which is the Marina, and everybody asks about this all the time. Look, right, I had a horrible situation in it where twice the clutch has given up on me, and it's made me feel really nervous about getting back in it, or even sorting it out, I just feel so demotivated. So I've had it in storage somewhere else, and as you can see, the storage situation was not the one, and so now it's indoors, it's in the dry, it's just sitting waiting for me. When do I think I'm going to get onto that? Well, I would like to have it sorted for my birthday in January. So I'm giving myself a good 6 months to get that back on the road, because I don't know what that entails, because it's the clutch, it's whatever's causing this clutch issue where it keeps knocking itself out, and all the bits in between. And if I'm honest, I'm not going to say to myself, let's get it sorted by here, if there's going to be a load of other stuff that we find. And there's a few other bits I want to sort on that as well before it goes back on the road, because I want to put an MOT on that before it goes back on the road. And that is an update on all the 6 cars. And then I thought I'd tell you as well that we've also got that Austin A40 coming, so lots and lots and lots to be sorting and thinking about. And with that, I'm going to really politely ask that nobody else offers me any project cars. I'll help you find a home for it if you've got something. I will do my best to help you, but please don't send me harrowing emails asking me to buy stuff, because I do not have the capacity to take on anything else. I want to get everything running before I think about what we do next, whether that's selling things, whether that's swapping things about, and just really rationalising everything. But in the meantime, what I have been doing is I have been sharing some of my classics. So I've been sharing the convertible with my friends and letting people take their kids out in it. And there's a reason for this. This is because I really worry about the next generation and who's going to take on our cars when we're too elderly and infirm to drive them ourselves. And I always think, who's going to take Nancy on? So the idea is that I want people to take their kids out, take younger siblings out in that car and get excited. And do you know what? It's been going really well, because people's children have been really enjoying the car. So that's really good, isn't it? And I think that's something that we can all take away. I'm not asking people to lend their cars out to all and sundry, but if you can, please do open that passenger door when you're at car shows. Let people have a look at the cars and get excited, because there's... what story is it? Is it The Giant's Garden or something like that? It's one of those old Hans Christian Andersen type tales where the guy has a beautiful garden, I think he's a giant, and he shuts it up, and then he gets cursed with eternal winter, and then a child breaks in, and then there's children's joy. There's some story. Anyway, I'm going off on a mad tangent. The moral of the story is that things are much better when you enjoy them, and things are more enjoyable when you share them. And I fully believe that, even with classic cars. And I even let some of my friends drive Nancy. They have to be really trusted to drive Nancy. But everything else I'm very liberal with, and I let all sorts of people get in it. If people chat to me in car parks, I let them have a look in, I let them sit in, because I think, you know what? It was through people being generous with their cars that have got me into other cars and other marques. And so I think it's really important to keep spreading that joy. So that's what I'm doing what I can, spreading the joy and all the bits in between. Now I know that there's going to be someone who's going to say to me, but Steph, why haven't you found the time? Well, here's the thing, and I wanted to leave this to the end of the video. So if you don't want to know what I'm doing in my life and you just wanted to hear about the cars, this is where the video ends and I'll say goodbye to you. But if you also want to know what I've been doing and how I've been getting on, this is this section of the video. So it's been a bit weird lately. So this year has been a big year of change. I've moved back to my house. I'm still cracking on with the renovation. I'm obviously flying solo now, as quite a few of you know, and I've been having quite a few health problems, and I've had some really strange comments about this. Some people have asked in a nice way and some people have asked in a more direct way, and one of the questions that keeps popping up is, do I have cancer? And I'm not sure why I keep being asked that, but no, I do not have cancer as far as I'm aware, but thank you for asking, I guess. No, I've just been having a few quite debilitating problems since my surgery. My hormones went wacky and it sent my body into a bit of a weird space, and I'm now in the process of trying to sort that out. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am feeling absolutely dreadful at the moment. Now, some of you know this already because you've asked me to go and visit you in various places, and I've been very honest with people and said that I am so drained, I'm feeling so awful that I'm finding it really hard. I'm struggling to drive more than an hour away from my house at the moment, and I am so weak that I can't even pick up a Morris Minor wheel. So that's where we're at, and all of that is being investigated with doctors at the moment. They've done some more tests today, but please don't be worried, it's all getting sorted. I know some of you have been very worried and you've emailed me and you've asked me questions, and you don't need to be. It's okay. If there was something really badly wrong that I was concerned about, I would just tell you, because I like to be honest about these things, which is why there's this section at the end of the video where I'm telling you that I'm not 100% at the moment. I feel absolutely, sorry to swear, feel absolutely bloody dreadful actually, but I hate moaning about stuff because I think there's always people that are having worse lives out there, aren't there? And so therefore I'm very privileged. I have a job that I love, I have loads of friends, I have cars that I love, I have people that I can rely on, I have people that I can call at any time of the day or night if something needs to be done or I'm a bit stuck. I am one of the lucky ones in life, so as long as I get through this, I'll be okay, and we all come up against it, don't we, from time to time with poor health. We are so lucky in the UK to have the NHS. We have subsidised medication through our prescription service, and so therefore I am very lucky indeed, and that's what I like to focus on. So things will get sorted, but if you want your car reviewing and you live more than an hour away from Huddersfield, we probably aren't going to be booking it in before autumn. But if you do live within an hour of Huddersfield and you would like to have your car reviewed, please do email me, because I'm looking to book in with more local people at the moment. And it's not to reject anybody or put anybody over anybody else, it's simply that I am absolutely exhausted, and if I've missed your email and I haven't replied to you, I have over 500 emails, I'm exhausted. I'm really sorry if I've missed you, it's not deliberate. Anyway, that's that. I guess we'll leave it here. If you have any questions about anything, whether it's the cars, whether it's what I'm cracking on with next, let me know. The next adventure that we're going to be filming is to the Morris Minor Owner Club National Rally. Oh, I cannot wait. And so I'm filming this before I leave the National Rally. It's going to be, my first National Rally was 2010. So I've been going now for what, 15, 16 years? I love it. If you have a Morris Minor, please come next year. Oh, it's just the best weekend. It fills me with so much happiness. So even though the drive is quite lengthy, I'm breaking it up with a stop just to try and make sure that I don't overwhelm myself. And then my drive back I'm doing in convoy with a few friends, so I won't be in a situation where I'm too tired, and we have some great service stations so I can stop if I need to. Anyway, that's enough of me battering on. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. Tell me about your cars as well in the comment section below. Tell me what you're up to, and also let me know if there's any shows that I need to add into my calendar. But until next time, when we meet again and we talk about Morris Minors, take care and drive safely.